Hi, Mike Jones here from Joy Skills Online. Someone asked me the other day if I could do a run through of some of my books, and I loved writing this gratitude journal. I've used it for about 6 to 8 months, and it really changed my life. Actually, I feel so much better because I've done it. So I was pleased to be able to publish it, share it with you, and we're going to take a little run through so you can see what makes it a little bit different. It's taken all the insights of the life model and placed it in a journal form. So it's more than your normal 1, 2, 3 simple list gratitude journal. It takes you on a journey. It's called 7 Steps to Life-Changing Appreciation. And what we're going to do is just take a little run through the gratitude journal. You can see the pages here, and just make a few comments, tell you what it's all about. And I wrote the journal because I needed it ultimately. It was locked down in December last year, and I really felt I needed a boost, and I was doing appreciation and stuff, but I wanted something that would really help me every day and also integrate it with my Christian life too. So I've studied relational brain skills through the life model. They really helped me to come back from post-traumatic stress disorder, and I've really put a lot of the stuff into action. So I thought, well, let's put it all together and let's put it into a journal that will help me and also help you too. So the journal has a biblical basis. It is more powerful than other gratitude journals that you'll find around, and it does take you on a journey of 7 steps, and we'll look at those in just a moment. And why does it work? Because it takes seriously how God's made our brain. We know from psychology that negative experiences stick in our mind more than positive ones, so we need help often to put the positive things back in our minds. But what many of us don't realise is as we do appreciation, it warms up the part of our brain that helps us to pray. And so appreciation helps with this Bible verse, enter his gates with thanksgiving in your hearts, enter his courts with praise. And actually doing gratitude daily can help you to improve your prayer life. And what I'm going to do in just a minute is show you the most powerful thing, which I think is the appreciation gratitude cycle. But first, let's do a quick run through of the book. So we look at what's in the journal, how should I use the journal, and when you buy this, it may look a little bit different because it's kind of an ongoing project, and every 3 months or so I change a couple of the pages. And so I kind of do the normal thing. And then one of the things that makes the journal a little bit different is the fact that I'm really clear on the difference between appreciation and gratitude. We can think, I appreciate you is when I think about something. When I feel appreciation, this is at least in England, I begin to talk about my feelings, and that in the book I talk about gratitude. And a lot of people struggle with gratitude journals because they say, I don't feel. And like with this one, it's okay. It's like appreciation is a good place to start, just with what I think. And actually, I notice the value of something. Appreciation is when I notice the good qualities in something or someone. So here we begin. The whole journey begins with places I appreciate, and often people find places and people that are really useful things, and we think a little bit about that. There's a Bible verse on going through the journal. There's lots of Bible verses, and we also do the classic daily 1, 2, 3 pages where these things really are helpful when we're in a hurry, we're not feeling creative, and we just want to write down 3 things we appreciate, or later in the journal, 3 things we appreciate or feel gratitude for. Then we come on to talk about gratitude, and if you don't feel it, that's okay. And we ask, what do we feel grateful for? And then we summarise that chapter. So that's kind of the first step. I get you to think about what your goal of using the journal is. Often it helps us to keep going when we know this can really make a big difference to me. And then the second step is to remember things, actually to look back and remember. No one had really taught me to do this before until I kind of came across all the research from Carl Lehman and Jim Wilder, Carl the psychiatrist, Jim Wilder, Christian psychologist. They taught me to remember the things that we appreciate and grateful for. So we start doing that in this step, and on the right hand side you can see the daily 1, 2, 3 prompts, which are really helpful. It's really interesting. Sometimes we want creative stuff, and sometimes we just want the 1, 2, 3 stuff. I really can't get on with journals that just go today, just do be grateful for those 3 things. And what happened was I had something which did that, and I also had other things that ask me questions. And I was like, let's put the two together because it's the most helpful thing. Lots of people find pets helpful, so there's pets I'm grateful for. Favourite toys as a child. There was an older couple actually who loved doing some of these ones because they discovered things about each other even after they'd been married around 50 years. This one's a beautiful particular exercise that people like. Then another thing we look at is what's special about the people you appreciate. This begins to impact your relationship. You know, what makes someone special to you? Some people I work with have thought, well, I always talk about distinctive, but I never say to people what's special about them. So we begin to think about things like that. We look at the difference our Christian faith makes. And also in relationships, do you remember when? We think about do you remember when stories. And those things help us when we say to someone we care about. They kind of remind them of our journey together. And that is really powerful in helping our relationships. So that was our first 2 steps. And then we go on to 4 more. Step 3, reliving positive memories and really bringing them to life. That's a really important part of the life model. Think about memories to avoid. A lot of gratitude journals don't talk about some of the negatives about gratitude journaling, and we just say, well, what are the things that you really shouldn't focus in on? Then we look back at a common happy memories for a couple of times. And then that as Christians we can ask God to bring to mind memories, and this is astonishing. God just brings to mind things we hadn't thought about, and when we pray into that it reveals stuff. We've seen people like having inner healing through this, and actually some inner healing approaches like the Emmanuel approach is all about this. They begin with asking God to bring to mind a memory. So this is lovely if you've never done it. If you've never done it before. So we talk about how to share what we're learning with other people so we don't overwhelm them. You can skip that if you don't want to do that. And then we look back and think step 5 is engaging with our God memories. Often we've got so many spiritual experiences, and when we re-engage with them, actually it just reminds us that the impact of our faith. It also, as we think about God in the past, it also kind of warms us up in the present and enables us to pray in the present too. So that's a really powerful step. So we spend time engaging with God memories. Then we think about how do we do it through the day, planning to be appreciative. So we think about everyday things and do that kind of thing. So there's some reviews there. And then we work through the appreciation gratitude cycle, which we'll come to at the end. And then actually some people find it really transformational to do a 30-day challenge. So there's an option here for doing a 30-day challenge and tracking your progress to that, where 3 times a day you focus in on being appreciative or doing gratitude. And then there's some photocopiable double page there, so you can kind of print out the I'm grateful for, I appreciate. My whole point is to help you. And so people find that helpful in the middle. And we talk about sharing a little bit more. And then these things are about enriching your relationships with others. So the 7th step is passing it on. And we think about changing our relationships by reminding ourselves who cares for us, by appreciating people, enriching our family relationships, impacting close relationships, telling stories, and reminiscing, bring appreciation to prayer life, bring it into work meetings. This can be really important. Some people can completely transform what's going on. And then being proactive and create highlights in your life. What about holidays or special events? What memories are you building? That kind of thing. Improving the atmosphere of difficult meetings. And then, so that's kind of, we've done the 7 steps, and then I'll give you some resources for continuing the journey. So the appreciation gratitude cycle, which I'll come to in just a minute. We look at the good life now, we look at photo activities, look into the future, giving your attention to the day with God, all this kind of thing. Lots and lots of things. And a few note spaces. You can put a list at the back. And there's an index because people find that helpful. And a really powerful thing is many people find is the appreciation gratitude cycle. They use this in small groups a lot, where it takes you through something you can use over and over with yourself when you're praying for other people. If you're a pastor or a vicar, you could just use this. I had all the electrics go down in my church, and I had to do a service without anything, and I just did this because I know this is part of me, and as the beginning of the service I just went through this cycle. And it's particularly powerful. So there you are. It's 110 pages. It's at the same price as a cup of coffee and a cake. It changed my life. It can change yours. It's a great present for other people. So check it out. Click the link that you'll be able to see in the description, and you can find it on Amazon. Bless you, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and may God bless you as you go forward. Bye bye.